Hi guys, thank you for tuning in. I've got a special guest here today. I have Abner in. He's just released his EP called EP Sun, isn't it? EP Sun. You were supposed to do an interview a couple of years back when I was on radio.
Yes, yeah.
So it's been a couple of years, but everything's about perfect timing.
That's it. Nothing happens before the time.
That's it. Yeah. And also, you're the actually first guest on my new podcast.
I love that.
So
I love that.
You're the debut. This is our first ever episode. We got a lot more coming. So BelleWether Uncut is basically just about bringing on undercover artists, rappers, singers. We look at actors, we look at dancers, anyone who's really involved in the arts because it's a broad spectrum. And
of course.
So I'm going to jump straight in it. So congratulations on the EP.
Thank you.
I've listened to it. Like I said to you earlier, I've been listening over and over again.
Yeah.
What I wanted to really talk about is like, first of all, why did you release it now? That's the first thing. Like, you've been quiet you've done like challenges and stuff.
Yeah, but I've been quite quiet in terms of like releasing music and releasing projects and stuff. I think the whole of 2020, it was obviously everyone was at home. There was nothing to do.
Yeah.
And for me, I used the time a lot to just write, just write music. Think about what angle I want to take my music from and where I want to be in a couple years from now.
Yeah.
And so, I spent the majority of 2020 doing a lot of these challenges that everyone was doing, and just writing this EP, producing it and writing it as well. So, so the fact that it's called EP Sun, my mum's name's Paulette. So
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
How did you construct with that name?
Okay, my mum's name's Paulette.
Okay.
A lot of people call her just P. Like what I'm P? What I'm P? Like that's just P, innit? So I didn't want to release a whole album because I think the stage that I'm at in my career, I thought that I'm not ready to release an album because there's not enough buzz yet, and like there's not enough people that care for an album. So I thought an EP is fitting because I can put together 5 or 6 songs to capture kind of who I am in a sense. And then I thought, what better name than just EP Sun? It's an EP, so
So you have a double meaning behind it.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's sick.
Yeah.
So the EP, we're gonna talk about the EP a bit later on. But first of all, I want to talk about like how you started. So when did you first realize? At what age? Was there a certain place or a certain song? We're going to talk about your influences because there's a lot of influences, and I like the fact that how you've got different genres.
So
where did it all start? When did you know you wanted to be an artist? Like you said, you produced. So did you produce first?
So how it really begun was, I got a childhood friend. Me and him been childhood friends since the day we were born. Literally, like. He was due on my birthday. I was due on his birthday.
Wow.
And we're 3 days apart. Like our mums were in hospital together. Like so I've known man since
from early.
Yeah, from the get-go.
Yeah.
So growing up, me and him used to make music because he sings. He's a R&B singer primarily. He doesn't do so much of it now. But in the beginning stages it was me and him, and them times there, you couldn't really, there weren't so many producers about.
Yeah.
And so it was a case of who's going to make music for him to sing on. So it was my job then to make the music, to make the beats. So that I kind of fell into it that way, and kind of got a love for it and started doing more at school and whatnot. And then I get to a stage where I'm like, okay, I want to do more than R&B beats because I can't sing myself. So what else can I do? And so I just started making rap beats and things like that. And so then that became a thing, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna rap on my own beats, and then that's how my lyrical side came about. But before then, I'd say that a lot of the influences came from rap in America,
you know, obviously rap in America, was there a certain coast? Was it East Coast, North, West Coast you preferred? I prefer East Coast rap.
Yeah, I don't know, I
like both, but From the West, Nipsey, that's my guy.
Yeah.
But
Rest in peace, Nipsey.
Rest in peace, Nip. But when it comes to the East, like or even like now, like I'm always on like.
What are you like an old school East?
Old school, so Styles. We're talking about Styles, like Big Pun, Fat Joe,
Mobb Deep.
Mobb Deep. What?
Yeah.
That's my kind of.
Okay. Well, for me, it was like initially it was a New York thing. Like those were the rappers that to me were rapping.
Yeah.
Like the West Coast rappers for me when I was growing up was like the Snoop Dogg's and the Dre's, and Tupac was the only one that was really doing stuff that was a bit intricate with words and stuff like that.
But remember, he's originally born in
New York. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I didn't really have a preference like that, but I would say that at the time, Mace was my favorite rapper. So like I don't know if it was his cadence, his flow. I don't know where it was about him, but he became my favorite rapper in a lot of the rap that I was listening to. And because as well, I weren't really introduced to rap like that. I had to kind of find it myself because in my own house, there weren't really rap music about like that. It was my mum weren't listening to rap.
What's she more listening to? Reggae?
My mum's a Rasta woman, so she was just listening to beer reggae. and a lot of Motown as well.
Yeah, I was saying that I was looking into your bio, what you sent me. And I was saying that you've got influences from Motown, like Berry Gordy's label. You said you used to imitate Jackson 5 and Stevie
all the time
at home when you was younger.
Listen, all the time. I was a black UK Jamaican version of Michael Jackson with dreads. Like, do you know what I mean? So I was them man there, like their presence in music, I think surpasses the genre that they were doing. Like, do you know 100. What I mean? So I think it just kind of resonated with me, especially as I got older as well, and I was able to listen to the music from a deeper level and understand some of the things that they were talking about and some of the issues that they may have been talking about in their music that was going on at the time. So a lot of my influences came from like the reggae side of things.
What about grime? Because I know you said like Pay As You Go, Cartel, Wiley.
So within me liking rap from America, I was always looking to over here, and there was rap over here, but it weren't as influential and popular as like garage at the time. So you obviously had the Soul Solids, and Soul Solid to me were superheroes. Like when I first saw them on TV, I was like, nah, like I can do this. Like this is they're brothers that look like me, and they're from South London as well, and they're on TV. Like to me, they were superheroes. And then within that, you listening to Soul Solid, you kind of get to listen to like the Pay As You Go, and early Wiley stuff, and Heartless Crew and people like that. And then obviously, as we know, like the scene kind of moved on from there and went to grime, to early grime. So then I start listening to Dizzy, and I'm like, nah, I can definitely do this now, because this guy is amazing. And he ain't got a group around him. Even though he was initially part of Roll Deep, but then I start listening to Dizzy, and then Getz and Kano and people like that come on the scene, and I'm just like, I'm blown away, because I'm like, all right, raw, these men are actually putting lyrics in a tempo that is a bit speedier, like than US rap. So US rap, you could get the substance and get the.
Is it a slower BPM, the US rap? It's compared to grime,
a lot slower. Yeah. So with US rap, you can hear the substance and get what they're saying, and it all makes sense. But then with UK music, a lot of the time the tempo was fast, but it wasn't that lyrical. Especially with like the garage artists and the early garage artists and stuff. It wasn't that lyrical. It was more fun, bubbly, have fun kind of
improvisation, like on the spot, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Like, which I guess comes from the reggae culture.
Like PA when they have sound system.
Exactly, the sound system culture. Yeah. So then when I heard grime, it was like, okay, these men are doing what the Americans are doing, but they're doing it on garage type beats or faster beats. and I love it. It makes sense. It's dope. So yeah, those are my influences in music, really.
Also, the story about the Beanie Man story, Who Am I? Where, like, I remember when I was like, I think I was about 9.
Yeah.
And I got, you know them old stereos for Christmas?
Yeah.
And obviously, we didn't have, like, internet back in them days.
Yeah,
you know what's that coming? I think it was AOL just came out, but it was dial-up internet. And you couldn't use a house phone at the same time the internet was running.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, listening to radio, and there was a couple songs, and I used to have the blank cassettes.
Yeah.
And you used to try and, like, used to record the songs, but, you know, you used to try and cut out
before the
before
the DJ starts talking all the adverts.
And one thing I found really, really interesting is the fact that how you used to do that, but then with this Beanie Man, was it the Who Am I song?
Yeah.
Is you actually played it back,
wrote
down the lyrics, and recited the lyrics.
Yeah. So that was just off of the back of I think the year that song came out.
Yeah.
I think I had gone to Jamaica with my mum, and I came back with a cassette full of new dancehall music, and that was one of the songs, and it was obviously a standout song for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, raw, like I like everything he's saying, and I want to be able to sing along to it.
Yeah.
And I could just try and learn it, but I thought, let me try and write down the lyrics and see what he's actually saying. Read back what he's saying. So I'd start the song. I'd write down the first line, then rewind it, get to the second line, and so on and so forth until I had the whole song, like verse, chorus, all of that stuff. So yeah, that was I don't know what that was really. I don't know if it was just me being a weird kid or it was just like,
I think it is a music baby thing.
Yeah.
Like when you love music.
Yeah.
I remember, like, you remember in the albums they used to have the lyrics to the tracks in the album.
Exactly.
And used to play the songs like on CD and be like, oh my God, and try to learn it. But I think that's a music bit, like music lovers.
Yeah.
Like, and even though you doing that, probably like you writing instruction, like that's trained you to start writing
100%,
for yourself.
100%. Because then I suppose after that I was able to remember lyrics better, because I would it's kind of like, to me it's kind of like painting a picture, I suppose, like in your head with the words and then trying to recite those words. So once I was able to write it down and see it for myself and see the picture on paper, then I was able to then hear other songs and remember those lyrics a lot easier. And yeah, it was and then my mum would tell me things like, make sure you remember the lyric, you remember your books, them like you remember the lyrics and all of that stuff. So
parents,
yeah, you know how it goes.
Okay, I wanted to touch on something. Your name, Abner.
Yeah.
Is that your like your rap name? Is that your real name?
That's my government.
Your government name.
Yeah, my real name.
And you said that your godfather gave you that name. Is there like a specific meaning behind the name? Obviously, coming from a Rasta mum, like my dad's a Rasta, I know my name means something. So I know they like to pick names with meaning.
With meaning, yeah. So a lot of shout out to Ghanaians as well, because a lot of Ghanaian people that I meet, and they say, "Oh, your name's Abner." Oh, that's a girl's name though. Yeah. In Ghana, that's a girl's name. The boy's equivalent is Kwabna.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, and then I kind of have to explain the story to them. But basically, my godfather, he was a Rasta man as well, and he picked the name for me, and Abner was I believe the general of King David's army in the Bible somewhere.
Okay.
So every time he used to see me, even up until I was in my adult years, he used to call me General Abs. So what, I'm General? and when he used to call me when I was younger, I never knew what it meant. I just thought, it's just something that he calls me. But obviously, as I got older, I've done my own research and everything, and found, okay, this is what my name means, and this is what it means, and I'm just gonna use it going forward. Like I didn't ever, like, I think a lot of people, I think or people that rap or people that do music, I think sometimes a lot of their names come from the roads or stuff like that initially. Like, but for me, I was never on the roads like that. So I never really had a road name. So it was just like it's just Abner.
But even that statement in itself, the meaning behind the name, it comes with strong. It's like a strong influence. Like it's like Nipsey again. I'm going to use him. Yeah, God's son.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you have a name that has a bit of purpose and a meaning behind it, I think it makes you push more in life. I don't know. That's how I feel though.
Yeah. I'm very like, maybe it's having Rasta parents that kind of
very spiritual
people. So like they kind of push that thing to you that it's like names mean stuff. Words are powerful, and you know what I mean? Like you've got to be careful with certain things you say and certain things you put out in the atmosphere. So I suppose growing up and hearing that, you kind of run with it as well. So I believe that names are very important. Like I would never like have a child and just name them any name.
Because I noticed this generation, like they just name them like the ghetto names. I know them at the end, but even like my son's name, his middle name is a Bible name.
Okay,
it's the highest prophet. So I think you have to, especially in this kind of climate and society how it is now.
100%.
Simple things like that, people might think it's crazy, but I feel like you definitely need to.
Yeah, I had this discussion with my missus that like names and stuff, and I used to hate being at school and like speaking to some of like my African friends, and then their names they would have like an African name, but they would have an English name as well. And I used to hate the fact that they would, when the teacher asked, "Oh, what's your name?" the first thing they would say is the English name, because then it's like, bruv, like tell them your name. Yeah, like tell them your name is blah 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 blah, and like I suppose from their perspective, or from the perspective of people with names that aren't usual, I suppose like there's the embarrassment of the teacher saying it wrong and all of that stuff, and it's just like I'm very much in the habit of correcting teachers or correcting people now when they get my name wrong. Don't like. I'm not saying that you can't get it wrong or you can't.
If they don't know, I would just say, how do you say your name?
How do I pronounce your name or whatever the case may be? So it's just like, I suppose that's come from my parents as well. Like, be proud of your name, be proud of what you're called, and
own it.
Yeah, own it. Yeah, just own it.
Own it.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
okay, I wanted to talk a bit about the EP now. So it's a 5-track EP. The first track is December the 21st. Was it
December 21st? Yeah,
and then it's Winning.
Yeah.
I believe, and then is it On Job?
Nah, it's The Difference.
The Difference.
Yeah.
Then Hard Times.
Hard Times, and then On Job.
Then On Job.
Yeah.
The structure of the EP, I've noticed like you've got so much different sounds in there, like your influences.
Yeah.
You also produced that EP yourself. So you produced the EP and you recorded it yourself. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Like, how did it feel like producing it when you heard it back? Like fully heard it back, like produced it.
Yeah.
The vocal on it is clean. The mix, I'm not gonna lie, the master on it is very clean. Yeah. You've got some features on there as well.
I got a couple of features.
That Hard Time. We're gonna talk about. I got a couple tracks on there.
There's
bare captions. For Insta. If you need Insta captions, just download this EP anyway. It's called EP Sun. Yeah. It's out now on all DSPs.
Everywhere.
Make sure you stream up and run up the numbers.
That's it. Run them. I'm trying to go number one. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I'm trying to go number one. So
anything's possible.
Run up the numbers, yeah.
So when you heard it back, when you finally heard it back, and thought, wow, like, did you think like, wow, I actually did this, like, and in a pandemic, a lot of people have made excuses, like not made excuses, but I know they might find it a bit more hard to work. But I've seen it as motivation, whereas the whole world's on lockdown.
Yeah, there's nothing else
to do.
Yeah. I like when I heard it back, I was very, what's the word? I was very surprised at like how structurally well it was put together, especially because we're in a pandemic, because like there was a lot going on at the time of recording it and writing to it and everything.
Like what do you mean?
Like, so like the whole lockdown thing, and then there's things going on at home, and then I've got a 5-year-old running around the house. And like it's a lot to do whilst writing music as well. Like maybe music shouldn't have been my focus, but it was kind of an escape for me. Like so when I hear it back now, it's like it sits well with me, because I'm like, okay, I managed to do this throughout all of this. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, I'm super proud of it. I'm super happy that I was able to do it, and I'm already working on the next one already. Like,
what? What do you mean? You just dropped that on the 31st of March?
Yeah. I've written maybe 4 songs out of. I'm probably going to put another 5-track EP out, and I've written 4 songs so far. So I'm just waiting to record them all. Really.
Okay, so, that's sick. As an independent artist, how important do you think it is to retain creative control? Because we're in an era right now where you don't need major labels to get signed. You have label services, like you can pitch yourself. Do you understand? So
I think it's important to maintain it as much as you can. I don't think I would judge anyone for signing to a label for if they're giving them £3 million and they're saying, look, you're only gonna own 10% of the music or whatever the case may be. I'd never judge anyone's decision based on whatever they feel that their situation is and needs at that time. For me personally, I would like to maintain 100% creative control over my music. And if that means me giving 20% to someone to do something for me, then that's my decision. I don't want it to be a decision of someone else. And that's just because I think there's a lot of, especially within my music, I try to promote like a lot of integrity and try to make it so, you know, you're focused on you, but you don't get drawn into the I don't know, the glitz and the glamour. Because when you get drawn into that, that's when things like a label offering you X amount of money and you just taking it.
Not knowing
the
structure behind it. Like
exactly.
It's like a loan.
Yeah, exactly. When I listened to what's his name talking the other day, Russ.
Okay.
And he was talking about the deal that he initially got, and they gave him like 60 bags. And he signed a 24 album deal or something like that.
24 albums?
24 albums. They wanted him to record 24
albums
for 60,000.
60 racks.
Yeah. And I put that just down to like naivety and him just being young and just not paying attention or looking at the contract or getting someone to look at the contract to know. So I think there needs to be a lot of emphasis on being able to even see foolishness in your own contracts, like not even getting someone else to read it, but just being able to just identify what's the standard and what they're taking the mic, like you know what I mean. So, but
I think you're right. Like the whole label thing, like I believe it's good for certain things. Obviously, like I do believe it's good for certain things. But I think everyone gets gassed about, I'm signed and and they might get the big money. You're going to go and buy all these chains and these things where if you're smart, you're going to put it back in your music.
Exactly.
To make sure you pay off that.
I like what Gets done with his album rollout recently.
That album, if you listen to it, by the way.
It's cold. Listen, I can't. Listen, when he announced his tour, I said to my cousin, I've got a cousin that like, I've been to, I think 2 Gets concerts with him before. Yeah. I said to my cousin, yo, Gets is touring again. What are you saying? He said, he said, fam, don't worry, I got the O2 priority. I'm gonna buy the tickets. Just send me the money when you're ready. I was like, all right, cool, say no more. So yeah, I was gassed about it. I thought the album was, I thought the rollout and the hype around it deserved what
he smashed it. I swear to God. Like when I heard that, I thought, oh my God, finally. Yeah. We're in the UK scene right now. It's I don't know how to feel about it because there's a couple good people out there, but I feel like it's a bit gimmicky. Yeah,
100%.
But all like ratings to them for doing their thing and that. But I feel like when Gets dropped that, it was like a proper piece of what that's a breath of fresh air, body of work. Yes, like bars, 100%. Like how he's writing, like the features he's got on there.
Everything.
I think he's got choirs and that on there. I think he's got a track of a choir on there. He's got Emily Sandé on there, and it's just even him talking about certain things like when he was a pharmaceutical driver. And people were asking for his pictures.
Yeah. So he's putting the realness into the music, and the reason why I brought him up is just because I feel like he got signed. But he done a lot of everything was him. Like the legwork was him. You would have never known that he was signed unless he said it.
Yeah.
And because he said it, people are like, okay, he got signed. But like, I remember watching an interview with him about it, and he was saying that he had got the Ed Sheeran feature before he got signed to the label.
Wow.
So when he got the feature, the label were impressed with it. It was like, oh, okay, we don't have to pay Ed Sheeran like £100,000 to do a hook or do a feature on your album, because you've already done it. You've already got the so that kind of thing. Labels are good for. So labels are good for pushing an artist to the masses, and if that's what you really want, then labels are brilliant for that. But I just don't think that like labels are necessarily always good for everyone. I think it all depends on your circumstances, depends on what you want to achieve as an artist, and it depends on how far you want to take it.
100%.
So
we're gonna quote a line from your first track on the EP. Where is it? It's December 21st, and it's your opening line. Your opening line, you know what I'm gonna say?
Do you know what? A lot of people have said to me, how can you start it off like that?
No, because I loved it. I'm thinking, or automatically, me as a listener, all right, cool, you're bringing me into your world. Automatically, from your first line on the first track, you're already going to be drawn in. You talked about your dad, and he said, Daddy turned up when he wanted to, so right now, you've done more than he's accomplished.
Yeah.
So you say your dad wasn't in and out. He was there, but not.
So I didn't want the line. If you listen to just that line, people would misconstrue it and be like, "Oh my days, he's dissing his dad." Like, but I didn't want it to come across like that. What I was trying to achieve with it was to show like a bit of what my world was at that time. So, like my dad. I knew who my dad was. I knew like as much as I knew about him. And but the fact of the matter is him and my mum were never married or never like in a long-term relationship. For me to wake up every day and see, oh look, there's Daddy. He used to come over and he would stay for long periods of time, and then I wouldn't see him again for a couple weeks. Like, and I suppose maybe it was even maybe a week, but in my little mind, in a child's mind, that's months. Like to me, that's like 2, 3, 4 months, and I don't think it was that long. But there was never it wasn't me and my dad's relationship wasn't like a case of like he was there every day. And he would admit to that. I hope he would admit to that, but. Like, I don't want it to sound like I'm bad-mouthing him or nothing like that, because it's my dad at the end of the day, and do you know what I mean? He's given me life and all of that stuff. But yeah, like, that's just the real of it. So when I say that I've done more than he's accomplished...
Do you mean in terms to your son?
I mean, yeah. So I mean in terms of my own child. So, like, my son can wake up every day and see me. Like, he knows that if mummy's not doing it, daddy's doing it. And for me, it was more of a case of if mummy's not doing it, then it's mad. Like I don't know where it's gonna come from, or I don't know what's gonna happen, kind of thing. But that was the premise.
Track's Winning. What is that track? Is there the winning track? Is that the second track, isn't it?
Winning is second track. Yeah.
How did you? Is there like life experiences? It's like with your music. Is there life experiences that fuel you to write? And do you think as a musician it's very important to use what's going on? Like if you look at the history of music, you see a lot of society, what's going on in society, cultural differences. Do you think as a good artist it's very imperative that you reflect that what's going on? You're from South London. You would have seen a lot of things from South East London, right? So do you feel like it's important to reflect that?
I do. I think it's very important. I think as artists you paint pictures, and you give the world an idea of everything that makes you as the artist. So with Winning, that song was kind of like it was one of these songs where I wanted to kind of flex on it. Like I wanted to show like, all right, cool, I can rap as well. Like I can do this lyrical thing with anyone. But within everything I do, or most songs that I write, you always hear references to things, or you'll always hear like a little gem about something. Like you'll always hear you'll always hear me put something in there that will have you having to either go and research it or think about it.
Yeah.
Like I always want to give something like that, and I don't do it. I don't necessarily do it consciously. Like, so I don't sit there and write and like, oh yeah, now I've got to say something relevant.
It just comes.
It would just come. It would just come from everyday life, from all the things that I'm around, all the people that I'm around, all the conversations that I have. It will all come out in the music in one way or another. So I feel like it's important to paint pictures of your surroundings and what's going on around you. That's why I'm an advocate for the drill artists, the young drill artists.
Yeah.
Like let the youths them do what they're doing, innit? Like, because at the end of the day, the violence and the badness was about before music was about. It's been here.
Look at the riots and was it the Brixton riots in the 80s? It's been about. Badness has been about, and there's no. I don't feel like there's any music that can necessarily influence you if you didn't want to do it in the first place. In my opinion. So yeah. A couple of tracks that are favourite of mine are On Job. Now that reminds me of that is a South London track. Like literally, like we talk about lighties, about girls, like man on the road. Like even that concept, like you need to pitch that for Sync as well. You don't need to go with some type of Netflix or something. Like trust me, that track. So it's describing the ends and that. Like we just said, like it's important to like relay that back. Have you had any feedback from people who've listened to that track and be like, when I heard it, I keep reading up like, yo, I feel like I want to jump in the car and just do something mad. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? When I sent it to a few people before it was released, and they were like, this is driving music. This is driving music. This is what you ride to and you just screw up your face to it. And So so I've had those reactions and I think that song, I wanted to show as well that you can sound super crud on a song without being super crud. Like you don't have to, because there's a big misconception that everyone that talks about crud in their music is on what they're on. And
that is not the case.
That's not the case.
That's really not the case.
At all. You've got maybe 80%, 70% of the people that talk about crud in their music ain't on crud.
They're not.
The other 30% that are on crud, they don't have to say it in their music. They just do what they're doing.
Because people know in it.
Exactly. So so for me, that song On Job was like a thing of like I would openly tell you on the song, I'm not a bad man. But I know a couple of them.
Like, have you seen bad?
I've been around a couple of them. Do you know what I mean? I grew up around a couple of them. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if it really comes down to it, then it can be that. But I'm not that way inclined. Yeah. And like I don't feel like it's necessary for me to be that way inclined. But like, on the song, I wanted to be as crud as possible whilst telling you that like you can just be yourself. Like it's okay to just be normal and be
that's
yourself.
One good thing I love about you. The fact is that you own where you come from. Like you say what it is, and the fact that how you can write and tell.
Yeah.
Like people who don't know you would think you was you're on road from hearing that track. You're telling it from the perspective of what you've seen and you can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's talent where I think Gig said it. You haven't got to talk about how I did this, and you can say my man, describe like you can take things what you see and describe it.
Describe it, yeah.
Also, Hard Times.
Yeah.
Yo, you see that hook on that track? That hook. Oh my God, the whole track. But you see the hook. That was very, very special.
Yeah.
Who is that girl singing on it?
So the girl that's singing on December 21st.
It's the same.
It's the same girl, but the reason why I didn't put the feature on there is because she's just doing the backing vocals and because I wrote the hook. I when she came to the studio to record December 21st, it was I put it on and I was like, do you reckon you can just do some backing vocals for me? So she just done it and it came out the way it did and that's probably one of my favorites.
That is one of my favorites. Was to hear the hook was it tough people, hard times, hard work, hard grind, hard food.
Yeah, say it with my whole chest.
It's hard for me to trust, but I trust the process.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, how do you stay motivated being a husband, because you're married, right?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Being a husband, working, having little man, and doing the music. Like, how do you stay motivated, especially in like this kind of climate where, as you know, in black men, mental health, and even in music, a lot of musicians have mental health issues. Like, there's things out there to help them, but I don't think they're fully aware of like unions and
100%.
So how is it, especially because, I don't know, in this day and age, everyone wants to look good. You have the social media, which is a fake reality.
Like for me, I always say that, like, with social media, you've got to treat it like it is. Like, you've got to treat it as it is. And I suppose people want to put their best foot forward all the time, innit? But for me, how I stay motivated within this whole thing and this whole industry is just by, like, trying to keep grounded with the people that are around me, like especially my missus and my son, and like aside from outside of music, to my son, I'm just daddy. Like he knows daddy makes music, and like he sings along to a lot of the songs, but to him, I'm just his dad. Like I'm not this rapper that
on
like,
the road, like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You get me, like, man's out here.
Yeah.
Doing all this.
I'm just daddy to him.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean? He just knows me as daddy, and he knows that daddy has to do certain things for him.
Yeah.
And so I think things like that just keep me grounded. Like just being human. Just being human outside of social media, outside of music, and just treating social media as if like it's a way of just promoting music and being,
because technically it's a marketing tool.
That's how I treat it, because I don't feel like social media is ever going to reflect what my life is fully. And
because people don't put up their hard times and the bad times, and when they're in their house crying, or when this person's coming, you don't see that. You always see the best. Exactly. So yeah, I think me staying motivated is just down to the people around me, and just trying to stay human and not turn into a social media robot. And just the first thing I have this rule, like when I wake up, I don't pick up my phone and go on social media. I have 2 hours, I meditate, like pray, do a little exercise. And then, because that affects your mental. When you wake up and the first thing you do is pick up your phone. You do know your whole day is going to be affected. But it's little things like that, I think, can really help.
100%. I was reading something that they were saying that you're not even meant to look at any type of screen, I think, up to an hour before you go to bed. Because it can mess with your sleep. Yeah. And like I always have it in the back of my mind, but I never I try to put it in practice, but sometimes it don't work. But like I've always got it in the back of my mind thinking like, right, like I need to not be on my phone so much, or not be trying to look at what's happening in social media. But I think the problem for me is that because I make music, I always want to be up to date with what's going on within. You have to. Within that
this
industry.
Is the catch-22.
Yeah.
Because again, when you are a musician and you're in that industry, a lot of things. When the first thing you find out things is online. Yeah. So you have to be tapping into all these different things and whatnot. Yeah. But I think it's just about finding that balance. Like, of course. I have a rule where I'll do a lot of social media research and whatnot. But then after a certain time, I'm signing off.
Off. Yeah.
Like I'm not involved. Do you understand? I'm signing off. What I want to talk about is your lyrical content of this EP. Did you study English language or English literature by any chance? Because
I was good at English at school.
I could tell because there's little techniques like metaphors, similes, personification, onomatopoeia. You're using these. Yeah. This is a real lyricist. I think Nole does this as well. Real lyricists.
Nole's wicked at this.
She's hard at this. Yeah. So how important do you think like nowadays it is to use those techniques? Because if you look at like battle rap, they have rhyming schemes. Do you watch battle rap?
100%.
Yeah, I knew it.
100%. I love battle rap. Like,
who's your favourite?
I don't know, you know.
There's so many, innit?
There's so many. I don't know who my favourite is. I think.
Did you watch the Cassidy and Hitman one the other day?
Nah, I haven't watched it yet.
I need to watch it. But I said they tried to rush Cassidy or something. I read.
That's mad.
But some of them tried to get rushed apparently. But I think Hitman Cassidy was talking some crud about.
Yeah,
he sent him off or something like that.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it when I get in.
Yeah,
but I love a bit of battle rap. But yeah, I think the importance of lyrics to me is super important. But at the same time, I've had to learn to be mindful that the average listener isn't gonna take in everything that you're doing lyrically. Because sometimes I'll do things, I'll write things, and I'll think to myself, "Oh my days, I'm sick." Like I'll just say it to myself, like, "Bro, this is sick." But like,
it's gonna go over people's heads.
It might go over people's heads. Sometimes I'll record it anyway and just think, like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, then like,
so
whatever.
Do you ever dumb yourself down for listeners?
I don't dumb myself down, but I am very aware of the average listener, and I think that it's important to put a lot of emphasis on. It's like putting what's the term they use? Putting the medicine in the candy kind of thing. So it's like you can have these hooks and these sing along kind of tunes, but are you putting some sort of substance in there as well? Like you can't. To me, I think that music should be something that reflects the times, like I said, and you're not. I think the spectrum of music, you're not always gonna have. Not everyone's gonna be. Let me think. I don't know. Not everyone's gonna be a Nipsey, or Not everyone's gonna be a, like the most lyrical. Not everyone's gonna be a Nole. Like sometimes I think. For balance, you need Nole and you need I don't know, you need like a Shabo, for example, just for argument's sake. Shout out both of them. But like I think you need both to kind of coexist for music to make sense. So you need a Gets, but then you need a Russ.
Exactly.
Like, do you know what I mean? To make it make sense.
Because in music, you have different markets. There's different audiences for different people.
100%.
And I feel like a lot of people struggle because they don't know their audience or their market, or they're marketing to the wrong audience. One thing I want to say, like, how do you feel as an independent artist? Like, there's a lot of, I think it's like a lot of the music industry now is independent. You have like the label services, you have like the tune calls and that where you can distribute for yourself. Is it very hard to maintain that? Because every day there's artists coming out. So I feel like a lot of good independent artists can get lost because every day there's this person coming out, this person coming out. So
and they make a viral song and then it's just, they're gone. Like,
literally now I feel like all you need to do is to get signed is have a viral moment.
And I agree. And I think for me, the way that I try and maintain what I'm doing is that I'm confident in what I'm doing, and I think that what I'm doing makes sense to someone. Like there's people out there that will listen to me and it makes sense to them. And the more people tell me, like, Abs, like what you're doing is proper, it's A1. Like it gives me the confidence to continue doing it. So that's how I stay motivated through the whole thing, because I know there's bare people coming out every day. Like you said,
there's so many.
You can make one song. You could go studio tonight, make a song, put it on distribute it, put it on iTunes, Spotify, and all of that, and then it's out. And then all it takes is one viral moment for that song.
Or right now a challenge, like TikTok challenges, like that was it. Trackstar.
The Trackstar.
So that went number one in Barbados before because the man did the dance.
Yeah. What was the other one? The one that was in like throughout the whole pandemic. Don't Rush.
Don't Rush, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Don't Rush. Oh yeah, that.
And like everyone was doing it, and it's just
that's
mad.
One thing about these Generation Z kids, like
they know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing, they're not like our generation. I think because we had it was kind of like our parents kind of effed it up for us.
Yeah.
But they're very clever. When I look at my little siblings and I'm thinking, I wasn't on that when you lot was doing all that stuff. But I rate it though. I actually rate it because I feel like they're the ones for the future. They're gonna change a lot. 100%. They're gonna change a lot.
I feel like the younger generation, they're so clued up on what's going on and what's hot and what's not, that there's nothing stopping them from taking this thing and running with it as much as you can. And like sometimes I get a little bit discouraged because I'm like, I think to myself, I'm 30 and like there's these kids, they're 21, 22 and they're still making music, but they're a little bit more popular than I am. And I think to myself, right, like, how many years have I really got left to be doing this? But then I kind of look at like the Wileys, the Gets, the Kanos, and they're older than me. So I'm like what was it J. Cole said, like the middle child. The middle child, yeah. So I can relate to the younger lot, but I can relate to the older lot as well. So like I see what them man are doing and I think to myself like, rah, I could be doing that as well. But then I start thinking like, rah, they came in at an earlier stage than I've come into it, like, or been popular in it. And it's just, it gets discouraging sometimes. But yeah, I think
you just got to keep pushing on.
Yeah,
Tina Turner, she was like, what, 44?
This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You just have to just keep pushing.
Keep pushing.
I had this discussion with my older brother, and he was pointing it out to me as well, like that our genre of music is the only, like, rap and grime and that is the only genre where someone hits 30 something and we start saying, oh yeah, man's old. He's old in this thing.
I think that's the society and everyone from outside. There's a lot of pressure. And I think because the whole road thing and that can come into it as well. It feels like, oh, man's old. Like when you're old, you're 30 and you're still shotting on the road. Man's supposed to stop shotting on the road from before 30 and that. So I think there's that whole stigma. But at the end of the day, music's music. It's gonna go on forever.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, because like, same discussion I was having with my brother, and he was saying like if like say like a, I don't know, like a Blackstreet or a Drew Hill or someone was to do a concert now, like everyone within our age range,
Drew Hill, blood, just bring it back.
Yeah, we're gonna go to that concert,
of course,
because we're gonna be like, rah, like, yeah, like, even though them man are probably 40, 50 years old, we're looking at it like, rah, music is music.
Yeah,
them man are making good music. So like, why is it in this genre of music? Like, but I think now is the first time that we're seeing a generation of people that are a little bit older that are still able to make good music and that's still relevant. I think before Gets and Kano and all them, man, Wretch, Gigs, all of them guys, before them, I don't think there was a generation above them that was making music, apart from in America, but over here, I don't think there was a generation above them that are still relevant now. As much as they are now.
Can't think.
Do you know what I mean?
I think before them it was like Damage. Remember the boy group?
Those kind of people, yeah. Damage.
Who else was there? I can't even. Because it's more like drum and bass.
Yeah, it was a lot of drum and bass and
jungle.
Yeah, it was that type of era. Yeah. And I don't think any of those people are necessarily.
What about what's his name? Who did that? I can't remember the tune. Bad Boys, you know, the drum and bass version.
Bad Boy, General Levy.
Yeah.
He's
a yardie. He's a yardie, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah. I think he was a yardie that was in England, and England. He just slapped the yard thing on the jungle beats and was just like, yeah, this one.
That tune's mad though. Even now when I hear it, I still got mad on it.
It's mad. Mad.
Okay. Is there any videos coming up for the EP?
Yeah. So I shot a video for Winning. Yeah.
Look quiet.
Yeah, I've done it and I'm waiting for it to come out. So it'll probably be out, what's today? Friday. Probably be out by next week.
Next week,
yeah.
That's
so,
sick.
So I plan to do maybe one more video for this EP. I don't know what song. What song do you reckon?
Hard Times or On Job.
Yeah.
It's one of them too. Listen, yeah.
You know what? Someone said to me I should do one for The Difference.
They're all so good.
Yeah.
If I could have it, I would shoot more videos.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone is out there that wants to like do videos for me and wants to do,
shout him
for all 4 songs, or like 4 left because I've already done one for 1. So I'm willing to work. So
also you've worked with some serious people in the scene. Tiny Temper, Little D, Queenie, Devlin, Adrian Coker, Lioness.
Yeah.
What kind of work did you do with them? Was you making beats for them?
So when a lot of the time when I was working with them, it was on a basis of like, I used to have a little studio in my room when I was living in the South. And so a lot of the time, people would come to my house to record. Stuff I've done with like Little D and Tiny Temper, that stuff was like me just recording them.
Okay.
Sometimes it was them jumping on a few beats that I had here and there. But this was like, a lot of the time, this was back before they were popular.
So how does it feel like?
Yeah.
These, like, someone like Tiny.
Yeah.
This is a man who come into your house and recorded in your house.
Yeah.
And to see him like blow up and go like mainstream.
I love it. I love it. Listen, when his first single came out, Pass Out, I think it was.
The first official one, innit?
Yeah, the first official one.
So what, you was working with him from like Fallen days?
Yeah, so I was working with him from when he done like Wifey Rhythm.
Wifey Rhythm, yeah.
All of that stuff.
That
like
went
viral. Exactly. So yeah, so it was from them times. So I remember messaging him when Pass Out came out, and I was like, because I didn't have his number, so I think them times I was on MySpace.
Yeah.
So I shouted him like,
MySpace.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I shouted him and I was like, yo, bro, like, congratulations. I love seeing it. Like, just keep pushing, do your thing, blood. And yeah, he was just grateful for it. And yeah, and then we just kept. I haven't really kept in contact with him because in all honesty, me and him weren't buddy like that. It was just he came to my house to record a few times, and that was really the relationship. Other people like Adian Coca, I went to school with Adian.
Okay.
So me and Adian are good brethren, like been to each other's houses, and like we're cool. We're cool people. Lioness as well.
She's hard.
She's
you remember
so
that
cold.
Westwood the ladies' night when it was like her, Nole, I think Elijah was on there. Lady Shan. What's her name? Nai was there, but she was sat at the back. I remember that's something of my childhood. Remember the Westwoods, the series when you sat there, Skepta. I think flipping. What was that boy group from Tottenham, man, with Double S?
Oh,
you remember them, innit?
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
Shocker and that was in there.
Yeah.
But I think those are the times I remember, like, it was so exciting, like, Bebo times, you had your Bebo video, you used to put, like, the favourite videos in there. And it's mad just to see, like, that now to how it's changed.
Yeah. It's just changed completely now.
Bebo on MySpace, that was our social media. Now it's
TikTok and Instagram.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But Ness, she's... I just known her from South. Like,
she needs to be bigger than... I think she
100%.
should be way percent bigger.
100%. She's one of the coldest out there, like, male or female, she's cold.
Yeah.
Like, and I know her from South. We met through how did we meet? Through a mutual person that we knew. And like she's been cold. She's been cold from we were young. And I've done a few songs with her way back, and like every now and again she'll put something out and I'll be like, I'll holler at her like, this is cold, like this is hard, like, you know.
That DBT remix.
Listen. Listen. And you know what? It was so needed. It was so needed. And I heard her saying the other day that like it's mad that she put that out and didn't get as much recognition for it. But when... Why
do you think that is? I think I have an inkling as
to it's black women in the industry that aren't respected the way that they should be, in my opinion. And I think that it's so hurtful to see that there's talented black women that don't get the shine and the recognition that they deserve and that they need to be getting. Like, for me, I'll always champion black women. Like,
you always have, since I've known you, though.
Yeah.
Always, even in your bar, if you listen to the EP guys, you hear it. You always have.
Always. Because I feel like black women are the most underappreciated set of humans that there is. From like slavery days up until now. Like it's they're so underappreciated, and especially all of what they do for us and do for people, for humans in general. Like it's just, to me, it shouldn't be just like a thing of like, we just ignore what they say or just don't take what they're saying seriously until a man says it. Like, it should be like, we should be taking them as serious as we take anyone else. You know what I mean? So,
I do think in the industry that them kind of glass houses and that now being broken though. I do believe, because I've seen a lot of more like black women and that they're pushing a lot more. I think there's some who's been like in like new labels. I think there's some that's been come on. You know the 012-7 Def Jam. Like there's some like I've seen that. I have seen like a lot more. A lot more trying to be inclusive.
Do you think that's because of the whole Black Lives Matter movement?
I think that's partly to do with it. Or? I think definitely that's partly to do with it. And I also believe that behind a lot of these artists is black women who are pushing them.
Yeah, 100%.
Being real.
100%. There's
So I feel like because society is changing and you have all these new like laws and stuff, like you've got the transgender laws and stuff that's coming in, and even like growing up, like some of these kids and that, like, the younger don't really see colour. The younger generation, have you noticed?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why like you have to adapt and change with the times.
Yeah.
I don't know how quick it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I think slowly
it will happen.
It will happen, like slowly. Like I said, I do believe that like certain people are getting in like positions now of like black women.
Yeah.
Even like women in general in the music industry.
Yeah.
You know the pay gap. All of these things. It's driven mainly by white males or males.
Yeah. And this is why. This is why I think that like you see. What was the song that they done? Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, the WAP song that they done, that got so much controversy from people. Versus the other day when what's his name, Lil Nas X put out that song.
It went number 1.
This is what I'm saying. Like the contrast between people saying that Megan and Cardi shouldn't be doing a song like that because it influences young girls and blah 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 blah. And whatever your opinion is on it, I feel like you should be giving that same energy to Lil Nas X as well, because it's the same type of thing. And I think that the fact that he's a black male, like aside from him being gay, the fact that he's a black male, he was able to get away with a lot more than what Cardi and Megan was allowed to get away with. And like, my thing is that I know music can be influential, but be a parent, innit? Like if you don't want your child listening to that song, then don't put it on. And it comes on the radio and whatnot, but the explicit version never comes on the radio, so your child will never know like what it sounds like unless you're showing them or you're giving them a way of hearing it. So like I think the industry is very male orientated, then it's very white male orientated, like in terms of the people that are in positions of power to make things happen for people. And then I feel like black females get the short end of the stick. Like so it's just like it's down to us as black men to champion black women as much as possible and push them to the heights that they deserve to be at the end of the day. Like I'm not saying just out there just champion anyone just because. No, you
have to properly.
It has to be people of substance and people that are worth championing. You know what I mean? So so shout out Lioness, shout out Queenie as well. Queenie's another one. She's cold. Like shout out all the black females out there that are doing something constructive with life. Like shout them out, innit? Like who am I to judge?
It's true.
Like anyone. Like do you know what I mean? So
Okay, so the current market, is there anyone you want to work with? Like any current rappers? Who's your favourite rapper out right now from the UK? You give me one from the UK, or two from the UK, two from the US, or Canada, because I'm into the Canadian scene. It's popping right now.
Do you know what? I haven't heard much of the Canadian scene. I was
Northside Benji, him, The Crook. These are two.
Okay.
The Crook, I think it's called The Crook. Yeah, The Crook. Yeah, I send you his Insta. He's hard.
Yeah. Like I think after Drake, it became like it became not hard to listen to Canadian people, but like it was like he's just the biggest one out of Canada, so it's just like he's gone with it kind of thing. But I mean, two artists from here or overseas.
So two from here and two from across the water.
Let me think. I'd love to work with Wretch.
Wretch.
Yeah.
You hear this? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to work with Wretch. I met Wretch once when I where did I meet him? Wembley Stadium.
Okay. He seems kind of a humble guy though.
He's very humble. Yeah. I bucked him once, and I don't know if I was starstruck or like, I don't know, but the first thing I've that's come out my mouth, I've gone, like I was like, oh, can I get a picture of you? He's like, yeah, King. So I was like,
right, King, you know.
I was like, you know, one day I'm gonna make a tune with you, innit? And he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And then we took the picture, and then that was it. Like there was bare people there anyway, innit? So like, so yeah, like Wretch is definitely like one of the top ones on my list.
Is he one of your influences? Because even like his writing styles is kind of not the style, but you know, like the use, as I said, of like metaphors.
Yeah,
he is a content lyrical, like 100%. Wretch can write.
Yeah. Wretch is a writer still. Like he's definitely one of my influences in terms of writing style and being able to construct words and put it together in a way that you might not necessarily normally do. Like I love bending words and love putting things in places that shouldn't be there. I love ending a verse on the 17th bar rather than the 16th. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I love doing things that are a little bit different, like lyrically. So yeah,
but that's good because then you're creating your own selling point.
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Doing what no one else is doing.
Exactly.
So Wretch, who else?
From over here, probably one of the young bucks.
Pick one from the young.
Yeah,
young
so I would say like maybe Millions.
He's hot.
Millions is cold, blood. Like he's cold.
No, he is. He's one of my favorites.
He's cold. That tune with him and Cash that they just put out.
Has he got a tune with Cash? I need to check it out.
Yeah. Listen to it.
But even Cash
I
was
is cold.
so upset when Cash got dipped back.
I was vexed
because he was about to go big.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely one, and he was so from young. He had it.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. He was one of those people that was just there was just something about him that was just like on point. He knew exactly what he was doing.
He comes across a lot mature for his age.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but just from what I've seen.
But yeah, him Millions is cold. Like I think he's like out of the younger batch of kids of people doing music. I think Millions is one of the best. Like I think lyrically, he's cold. I think the flow. Do you know what I think it is? I think it's the accent as well. It's not. He's not from London, so it's like he's got a slight twang to the accent.
But he's got the yard influence.
He's got the yard influence as well. Like I think Millions is cold.
And he marketed himself sick because he didn't really market himself as an English rapper. You notice a lot of his videos are not in Jamaica. So he was clever. Like as you said, there's a lot of markets out there, but people are trying to focus on the main one. I think 50% of the charting genres in the whole of the industry is hip hop and R&B.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Like India, there's scenes there. Africa's coming up. There's ways to market yourself, but you just gotta know where to do it. But it's about trial and error, you know.
100%.
So you said Millions and Wretch.
Millions and Wretch. There's more. There's a lot more, but you said two in it. So Millions and Wretch. I would say would be a dope. Two dope people to collaborate with. Even on one track, it would be sick.
Be hard, that track.
Yeah.
What about from the US? Who's your, like right now, currently? What do you think of Dirk? Because Dirk sound like it's not even about. You see, like I've noticed with a lot of tracks nowadays, it's not about the content; it's about what sounds good.
What sounds good? Yeah.
But Dirk does sound good.
Yeah. Like you see, I like I liked what's his name before he passed away as well. Pop Smoke.
Yeah,
like,
Smoke. Yeah,
there's just something about Pop Smoke.
But his yard as well. His mum's yard as well.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was just maybe it is the yard influence that had me liking him because he's not the most lyrical.
No.
Like I think people there's like a misconception that lyricists only listen to lyricists.
That's not the case.
And it's not the case. Do you know what? Yeah, I probably listen to more R&B than I do anything else. Yeah. Like I love a little bit of R&B, but like lyricists don't always listen to lyricists. Like lyricists will listen to people that are very simple with their lyrics and you just separate yourself from being an artist, innit, at that point. But yeah, Pop Smoke was cold. I don't know.
He's Memphis. You see Memphis right now. That's where all the rap's at. You notice all the you got Bag, Pooh Shiesty, CO Big 30. If you don't know, heard of him.
Nah.
There's one called Big Scar coming up. I've noticed it's gone down to Memphis right now.
Okay.
That's where all the
yeah.
Listen to some of them names. You'll be hearing them.
I'm gonna listen to a couple of them still.
But Americans know how to pick their beats. I think, better than UK artists.
They do. I think Americans are, I think, a little bit more seasoned in the sense that the scene's been over there longer.
Yeah.
For over here, we're now coming to a point, like in terms of timelines, this is probably our I don't know, I would say this might be our 90s era, like our late 90s era, I would say, like, or late 90s, early 2000s era in if you're comparing it to America kind of thing. So I think like, but I also think that a lot of UK music is more digestible now than it was back in the day. And I think it's a little bit more universal as well, in the sense that you can get like a Wretch or a Gets can go to America and they can understand everything they're saying, and it makes sense as well. Like, it makes some of the words and some of the phrases and stuff might be a little bit off, because it's like, oh right, I don't understand what they're saying there. But that's why you get a lot of, now you see, like, you know, those reaction videos on YouTube, and like American brothers doing like UK rappers and stuff, and they're like, oh, you hear what he said, like blah 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 blah. So but yeah, 2 artists from the US. Do you know what? Does it have to be in rap?
It can be R&B. Anyone you want to collab with, it can be
Jasmine
R&B,
Sullivan. Listen.
That EP.
Listen.
Did you watch the Tiny Desk?
Listen to what I'm saying.
I wheeled it up.
Listen, she's cold.
What's your favourite track of that EP? The track with her is hard.
I think that might be my favourite.
Yeah.
I done like a little, like I sampled that song.
Yeah.
And done my own kind of little version of it. It's on my Instagram, Abner Official, everyone. So,
yeah, shout out all your socials.
Yeah, Abner Official on everything. So Abner Official on Insta, Twitter, all of everything. So just catch me on there. But yeah, this remix I done was on. It's on there anyway. But yeah, Jasmine Sullivan is cold. Like she is cold. I think she. I'd love to work with her. Like I'd love to do a tune with her. And a second artist, I'll say a rapper.
Even someone who's like, do you know about Benny the Butcher? Do you know about him?
Benny the Butcher.
Like Shay Noir. You know about Shay Noir?
Nah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna bust you on Shay Noir.
I know. What's the group that Benny the Butcher's part
Griselda.
of? Griselda are cold.
They're cold.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no.
Every time they drop something, I just think, bro, this is they give me so much 90s vibes that it's just crazy. Like that Wu-Tang, that Mobb Deep, like they just got that grittiness about them.
But even them, they was putting in. I used to talk to Benny's DJ before he passed away.
Yeah.
He took him from the 90s. He's been in, so it's taken him like 15 years.
Yeah, to get to that point.
And I think it was Jay-Z who took Benny. And then literally after, I think Shay died like sometime last year.
Yeah.
So it was just like mad just to see, like, do you know what I mean?
See them at that point.
Like.
Yeah. No, Griselda are cold.
Yeah, they are cold.
I think I would want to work with maybe Rez the 5'9".
Yeah, he's hard to solve.
He's to me, he's up there with any of the top lyricists that you can think of out of America. To me, he's up there with them. Like I feel like he's so underrated, and like I'm an Eminem fan. I like Eminem, like in terms of just the way what he does with words. I think it's amazing, and the fact that I feel like Wretch can compete with that like very easily, like that just makes it, to me, he's just a lyrical genius. And so probably him and Jasmine Sullivan. There's probably more. There's a lot more, but yeah, again, like it, yeah.
Oh, cool. So what's next for Abner? What is next for Abner? What can we expect to be coming from you? Like you said, this EP is
the next installment of this EP. I've been recording. I've been writing to that, and just more songs, more videos. I'm trying to build a buzz enough that like there's a care for an album. So I'm desperate to put an album together. Like for years I've been putting mixtapes together, like where I'm just spitting on other people's beats, and like I know that I can structurally put an album together, like a good album, but I don't feel like it's the time yet. So at the moment, it's just me doing
singles. Like,
singles.
I think Russ, you know the American Russ?
Yeah.
He had a concept and he said before he was dropping like albums.
Yeah.
And what made him bust is the fact that he was dropping singles. I think it's every Friday or every other Friday.
Yeah.
And that's what.
Exactly.
So maybe try use that approach.
Yeah. So that's what's next for me, really. Just recording more music and just trying to be as productive as I can in terms of music. And I'm working on another EP as well. That's a little bit different to what I usually do. It's not rap, it's not grime, it's
R&B.
Not really. It's
neo soul.
It's a genre called Amapiano.
Okay.
So it's like African house.
Okay.
So it's like that type of vibe. And me and one of my friends, Razla, he's a producer. Shout out Razla. He was like, "Oh, do you want to do this EP with me?" So I was like, all right, cool. It's something different. I've never done it before.
Sometimes that's the best way. When you try something different, you step out of your comfort zone. That's where you produce the craziest results. So good luck with that. I can't make sure you send that to me.
I will. When we're finished with it, because in between I've been doing that and then working on my own EP as well. Yeah. So it's like we're just proper taking our time with it. But like once it's done, it will be it's due to be proper. But yeah, that's next for me. Just working on new music, just trying to build a buzz, make people more aware of who I am and what it is I'm doing, and just appreciating everything that I'm doing, really. Like, so yeah, that's all I'm working on at the minute. So,
Thank you. Like, literally, I'm so happy I finally got to clip and interview you after all these years.
It's all right. Like I said, nothing happens before it's time, innit?
It's true, perfect timing. So, but thanks again for coming on to BelleWether Uncut.
That's all right. That's all right. Shout out you as well. Thank you for having me.
It's all right, man. Come on.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the platform. I appreciate you giving me a chance to promote myself on your platform. So
come on, this is all about we're on about raw artists. That's all we go for. We want the raw artists. Do you understand? So thanks again, Abner.
No problem at all.